You know, in all seriousness, muskrats can be a lot of fun. You know, they can be caught in numbers, and introducing kids into it is a perfect animal to do that. This week we're trapping muskrats with Jason Webster from Webster's Predator Control. He's got a line in southwestern Pennsylvania, and we're going to show you what he's up against on public land. Trapping, an art form that has stood the test of time. A heritage built upon hard work, dedication, and pride. Rooted deep with the main goal of conservation. We, as trappers, live this history 365 days a year. With the help of some great friends, along with the love and support of my family, I'm carrying on that tradition. With all the pitfalls that I may encounter, the rewards more than outweigh the costs. Many of the greatest trappers in history have etched their name in time. This is my story. This is my time. This is trapping time.
Trapping Time is brought to you by Vapple at vappleproducts.com, Jeb's Chokes at jebschokes.com, Blind Turtle at blindturtle.net, Smokey's Deer Lures at smokiesdeerlure.com, Blackwater Hunting Services at blackwaterhunting.com, Southern Ohio Outfitters at southernohio.outfitters.com, Popio Creek Trapping Supply at popiocreektrappingsupply.com, Big Game Gut Glove at biggamegutglove.com, Dakota Line Snares at dakotalinesnares.com, PCS Outdoors at pcsoutdoors.com, Duke Trap Company at duketraps.com, Deep South Trapping Lures at deepsouthlures.com, Webster's Predator Control at shop.websterspredatorcontrol.com, Little Whiskey Girl at littlewhiskeygirl.com, Wolf Creek Products at wolfcreekproducts.net, Southern Snares and Supply at southernsnares.com, and Console Energy at consoleenergy.com.
Well, today I'm with a guy you probably recognize for his coon trapping, Jason Webster, Webster's Wildlife Solutions. He's going to take me on his muskrat line. Now, you guys up north that have all these marshes to trap, here in Greene County, Pennsylvania, we don't have that at all. So we've got a little place here that the Pennsylvania Game Commission has kind of put together, some wetlands, and there are some muskrats in here. The idea of 100 muskrat day catch here in Pennsylvania, yeah, it's not happening. He's got about 30 sets out, maybe a few more, so we're going to take and see what we can get. But it's 30 degrees out, not your optimum muskrat weather, but deer season's in, and this guy, he's crazy. He should be out deer hunting. He's got traps running, so I thought we'd take a day off from deer hunting. We'd go out with him and see if we can catch anything. Now, have you ever trapped this place before, Jason?
No, this is the first time I've ever sat down here.
Now, you got some competition there. There's some guys down here, right?
Yeah, I ran into one guy yesterday when I set the place up, and then there's also at least one other guy, because the guy I talked to said he did not set the backside of the pond, but there are some traps back there. So there's one, maybe two other guys trapping here right now.
All right, well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get up early on a Sunday morning to come down here and see no first, so you know, it's nice of me to leave the muskrats and coons for the kids and women, so I guess Jason come out here and show me what I'm missing, I guess. So, well, we got the first sets coming up, so let's see if we got anything in them. Beaver, muskrat, beaver, muskrat. You know, even though the beaver and muskrats share the same habitats and they even have the same tendencies, obviously the size of equipment that you're using is totally different. You know, this is a 330 Connie Bear that we're going to use for a beaver. This is a 110 Connie Bear with a power clip on it that we're going to use for muskrat. You know, the advantage of a muskrat is I can put a lot of these in my trapping bag compared to these where I'm only going to be able to carry 3 or 4. You know, the equipment is lighter, I can set more out and cover more ground. We just checked 347 sets and not one muskrat in it, so he's not off to a very good start. He swears to me we're going to catch one down here, so we'll get down here and see what we got. I know Jason has a lot of things working against him. He's trapping on public land and population numbers are down. But I would love to see a muskrat before the end of the show.
We finally got one. We're down here on an old beaver slough they have dammed up here in the hollow. There's a place here in the creek where they're coming up out here. They have a trail going across. And there's another spot where they're coming up out of the bank over there, and they're coming up here and they're feeding on the roots. So we have this one here set up with a 110 blocked off and just kind of camoed in. And then we have this one over here where they're coming up to the feed bed. And there's Mr. Muskrat. What they're doing, they're coming up out of that hole, up out of the creek, coming up here to feed on the grass roots.
Well, we've got one down. When we come back, Jason says he's got a few more tricks up his sleeve, something he likes to call a Hail Mary.
What do you demand in a quality knife? You want a knife that works as hard as you do. Weeby knives are made for trappers who want efficiency and perfection. The Weeby Elite double-edged fleshing knife has one edge that's ultra sharp, and the other side has just the right edge for pushing fat and meat for perfectly fleshed furs. And don't forget about the Weeby Wicked Sharp, the planet's sharpest skinner. When the blade goes dull, simply snap on a new one, you're ready to go. Find them at DakotaLineSnares.com.
We are infinite.
Welcome back to Trapping Time. Now let's get back in the water with Jason Webster on public land in Pennsylvania.
All right, the system that we're using here is a Duke 110 Connie Bear trap. And this one is set up with Johnny Walker's a shore set clamp. One of the biggest benefits is speed for these. With a simple turn of this and these stakes, you can adjust that to whatever you need, whatever height your hole is or wherever you're wanting to set it, depending on your soil conditions. Then you just tighten it back down. Especially nice, you get into a lot of muskrat runs around the edge, water level maybe, different depths, water or the mud on the bottoms, different depths as far as where you got to get your stake in to get it solid. Speed, biggest thing with muskrats, anything with trapping, anything to make your life easier, make it a little faster, it's definitely worth it in the long run. And all I did is take a wad of this dead grass, and you just want to kind of blend it back in with the surroundings, make it funnel it down a little bit. You want to make sure you don't have anything going through it, so when he pokes his head up through that hole, he can see right through that Connie Bear trap, and then he can come right over to the feed bed. Just kind of brush it in a little bit. That's basically it. Let's get this camoed back in and away we'll go. We have one more set here on this pond before we move to the next spot, and let's hopefully see if we was able to connect on this one. Yep, there we go. Another nice rat. What we got here, there's some old beaver chewings here, and it kind of made a funnel right along the bank, and then just down from it, you can see where they're coming up on the bank here, eating the roots out from underneath the cutout. So basically we found a spot right there in that brush to block it down with a 110, and this is our result. Sets like this is definitely where those shore set clamps come in handy. I mean, you can see how far we got that up on a 4-foot stake. You just basically bury the stake to your depth and then adjust that clamp right down to the height that you need for the trap to be. take that right back down in there and block that hole back down, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have another rat in that set.
Folks, don't feel sad for Jason Webster. You know, even though he only caught 2 muskrats on that long winter day, he had a lot against him. You know, we're trapping fluctuating water levels, and he's got competition on the game lands. Well, I go and grab my gear, help my good buddy Jeremy Kelch and cameraman across the line in West Virginia to see if I can put a few muskrats in my pack. Well, Kelch and I are out trapping canines and cats, and he's got this huge pond. And all summer long when you're fishing, these dang muskrats are swimming around here. We're scared of them. They're starting to dig holes in the side of the bank. So we decided we're going to take a break. We're going to try to snag some of these muskrats. Well, as you can see, it's a bit froze over. But we started walking around the edge here, and we're just following air bubbles. We found a few places that we're going to throw in what we like to consider a few slam dunk sets. We're not going to kill ourselves on this one. We've got a few Connie bears. We've got some Sure set clamps we're going to put on here. We're going to stuff them down in here, and we should be able to whack these muskrats out pretty fast. Now when I roll up to a place, especially like Kelch's, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for sign. And one of the biggest things you want to do when you're trapping muskrats is look for sign. You know, that's what you're going to set. Kelch's place, it was pretty perfect. You know, it was a little iced over, but you could still see the runs. You know, muskrats are hole animals. They're going to usually den in the side of a bank. And what's nice about that time of the year is the water's usually crystal clear. As you look down in it, you can actually see where the muskrats have been coming in and out at. You know, with a 110 Connie bear set up just right, we can slide that right down on it. And as you can see, a couple of the sets, that's exactly what I did. Something else I started looking for is, you know, muskrats have to eat. Now, in many parts of the country, you'll see these, you know, in the cattails, you'll see these huge feed beds and mounds. Well, where I'm from, we usually don't have that. The muskrat population was so high at Kelch's that he actually had 2 of them. So when we went up to that end of the pond, it was kind of a no-brainer because you could see the tunnels and the trails coming in. This one here ought to be pretty much a slam dunk. There's a channel running through here. It's almost like a beaver channel. It's insane. They've got channels coming out the back, but pretty easy hole. We're gonna block it right in front of it. Pretty simple. The way you want to set these runs and trails into these feed beds and holes is you want to take a 110 Connie bear. Now, this particular Connie bear here is set up with a power clip by Popio Creek. Now, another company we use is a Shore set. Now, what these are is adjustable Connie bear stabilizers. Now, what I would do, I would stick this into the ground, and I'm going to grab this clip, and I'm going to slide that down wherever I need it. These fiberglass rods are nice because they're light. I can carry a bunch of them. You know, we had stated before, the 110s, they're light. We can walk right up, especially with a muddy bottom in a pond. Stick that baby in there. You can run it right down. I want this thing to set directly on bottom. That way when that muskrat comes out of that den or that feed bed, you're gonna smack him as he comes through. There we go. Kelch should have a pretty busy morning tomorrow skinning muskrats. All right, let's get back to the canines and cats. The deal I had with Kelch was, you know what? I'd come in and set them. He had to check them.
Just got done checking my first trap, and we have connected on another muskrat. This will be the second one of the year. We're gonna get him out of here, and we still got the 2 houses to check, so hopefully we got a couple more. Got a real nice rat here, so we'll get him out of the cage, get this reset, and we'll reset that one, and hopefully we got a couple more over here.
When we come back, we're gonna head to the UP of Michigan to show you a completely different style of muskrat trapping. You're watching Trapping Time. The Power Clip by Popio Creek. Changing the way you trap water. Go check them out at PopioCreekTrappingSupply.com.
Do you need a blind that will keep you warm on a cold winter day? Do you need a blind that won't blow away on a windy fall afternoon? Do you need a blind that will never wear out? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need a Blind Turtle hard-shell hunting blind. This solid one-piece unit is perfect for deer hunters, turkey hunters, archery hunters, and gun hunters. Put it this way, if you hunt, the Blind Turtle is perfect for you.
Where'd you get all that stuff? DakotaLineSnares.com. I bet it cost you a fortune to ship all that. Nope, not DakotaLineSnares.com. It's $9.95. Flat rate, it doesn't matter what you get.
Dakota Line Snares and Trapping Products has everything you need right at your fingertips. Our warehouse is packed with trapping supplies you need to be successful on your trap line, and with flat rate shipping of $9.95 on all orders, you get your money's worth.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm going to put my order in at DakotaLineSnares.com now.
The trophy moment only lasts a couple of seconds, but the story will be passed on for generations. They only see the glory, not the sacrifice. But I don't wait for my tall tale of glory. I handcraft my journey from start to finish. They don't see what goes on behind closed doors. An epic saga is worth 1,000 words, but my story boils down to 3. Little Whiskey Girl. Save luck for the weekend hunter.
Welcome back. Now I've shown you a few of the ways that I like to trap muskrats in my part of southwestern Pennsylvania. Well, now we're going to head to the UP of Michigan with John Shagnon from PCS Outdoors, and he's using colony traps. In the state of Pennsylvania, colony traps are illegal because you're not allowed to use any trap that can catch more than one animal. However, in the state of Michigan, they are perfectly legal and you can really pile up the fur.
John Shagnon, checked in muskrat traps in the ensemble. And we got some colony traps along here, a couple footholds. Coming up. And looks like we got a couple rats. 2 of them. About all that could fit in there, Andrew. Probably get some more. These colony traps we're using, they stack together. And you can get up to 4 of them stacked together, and you can hold a lot more in the boat. I carry one of the bigger ones along to keep the rats in. Give them a little shake. But basically there's just a little placer going up underneath the bank, and you just get the trap there in front of where they're going underneath. Just naturally they go in that. They got a one-way door and they can't get out. That was a good start. Oh yeah, little guy. That's unusual. On a deep water run, you just gotta pay attention when you're set on the sign. And that's what we did. We went through, and you see we got a high catch ratio because we set where there was muskrat activity. No mink yet, but these traps also work good on mink. But here it was just channel running up into the where they're feeding up in there, and that took the rat. Most of these are big guys. One was a little small. It looks like we got one. Once again, it was just a deep run. Yeah, muskrat, not a mink. Alright, we got a deep water channel here, and shows the effectiveness of Mike Kane's colony traps. There's 3 rats in that one. My partner here, first time he went muskrat trapping, I figured I'd bring one out in that channel just to show him how you got to be observant. Nice day catching muskrats in northern Michigan. A lot of scenic territory, and we've got 15 muskrat and 1 raccoon caught in a Bridger 59. Can you see the rats up there? Some of them were pretty hefty. They say they don't have big muskrats in northern Michigan, about half our trip, we didn't even have any other people trapping, so very nice day in November trapping muskrat.
Thanks, John. When we come back, we're going to Ohio. I'm going to hook up with Jesse Klein. We're going to be beaver trapping, and I'm going to introduce you to the world of incidental catches.
In 2011, the world of shotgun chokes changed forever. Bobby Sears took his Jeb's Headhunter Precision Choke Tube to the NWTF Wild Turkey Still Target National Championships and brought home the gold. Shortly after, the Game On team got on board. By stacking the shot in front of the wad cup inside the choke tube before it exits your gun barrel, Jebs can extend your effective range way beyond anything you've ever seen. So don't get worked up about a turkey that's just out of range. Ruin his day with a Jeb's Headhunter Choke Tube. Who better to get your trapping supplies from than trappers who know what you need in the field?
Come on in.
PCS Outdoors is one-stop shopping for name brand trapping, predator hunting and calling supplies, shooting and pest control gear at discount prices.
A lure for every animal you'd be targeting.
PCS Outdoors stands above the competition.
Quality of Sabo brand snares being made here in Michigan.
Go to PCSOutdoors.com for great selection and prices that'll make you want to stock up for your next trapping or outdoor adventure. The Big Game Gut Glove is revolutionizing the way big game hunters and trappers are successful in the field. The 26-inch version fits over your elbows and protects you and your expensive hunting clothing from blood or cold water. They're made to fit your hands from extra small to extra large.
What I like about them, I can feel with them.
Existing products on the market don't give you the feel or protection you need. Wet or dry, the special non-slip grip bonds tightly to whatever you're handling. The Big Game Gut Gloves are reusable so you save money and promote going green.
Welcome back. You know, when Jesse and I were setting these beaver traps around this pond, we were seeing all kinds of muskrat signs. So it didn't really surprise me to see that one blundered into one of our beaver sets.
What all you got set down here, bro?
Well, Jesse, right here we actually set up a caster mount set, and it looks like we got a muskrat in there, which is typical when you trap these marshes and stuff. They use the same area, so a lot of times they'll blunder their way into a leg hold trap. And looks like I got him on the hind leg here. Well, one good thing about muskrats is a lot of guys don't mind catching them because muskrat prices are up so high right now. This muskrat skinned out and stretched is probably going to bring around he's probably going to bring around $8. And when you put that in comparison to how easy they are to catch, that's a real nice rat. And if you can see, I caught him in a number 3, which is a little bit of overkill for a muskrat. But we weren't trying to catch a muskrat, we were trying to catch a beaver. So we'll get him up on there. This slide here. I gotta work this slide up here so I can get it back out. Okay. And right here was the caster mount set, and it worked out semi good. It almost did what it was supposed to do. We'll get him out of there. Alright. That's a real nice adult rat there. We caught him by the hind leg, and as you can see, even that number 3 trap did very minimal damage to his feet. A lot of times you catch them on the front feet, you have trouble, but I mean that's a whole lot of trap, and it did very little damage at all. But yeah, that'll make a real nice mount or a nice fur coat for some young lady. Well, we'll get this trap reset, and maybe we can catch a beaver in it tomorrow.
After we got that muskrat out of the set, it was nice to see that one of my target animals were actually caught.
Nate and I came in here yesterday, and we were setting this pond here, and as you can see, it's starting to ice up. We found this feed bed on the side of this bank here, and we could see where these beavers were coming in and out. So we set a couple leg holds here, made a couple caster mount set, and by the looks of it, I think we got at least one in here. We're gonna try and pull him up. Oh yeah, we got a young one in here. Oh, he wasn't going anywhere. Now what we did here, we used a drowning lock with a number 3 coil spring, and what we did with this bag, we filled it up with rocks. It's so much easier that way when you're trying to find something to drown these animals with. I carry these feed sacks in with me, throw some rocks in them, toss them out. When I'm done trapping, I'll pull them back in, empty the feed sacks out, and I've got them for the next place that I'm set. But the way this drowner lock operates is, it'll slide down this guide wire, and when he gets caught and he tries to come back up, it locks. And it won't let him come back up, holds him underneath the water and drowns him. Now this isn't a very large beaver, but we're in here doing damage control. We're trying to get them all out of here. So you can't be, there's no discretion when you're doing damage control trapping, because your job is to get them all out. But we're gonna reset this here. It looks to me like it's gonna be a day or two before this part of the pond freezes up. So we should be able to catch a couple more in the next couple days.
All joking aside, I have a lot of fun muskrat trapping, and I have a lot of respect for the guys that are out there doing it. You know, as a coyote trapper who relies on sign and reading sign, these muskrat trappers are doing the same thing. You know, for anybody to go put a large number catch on any type of animal gains my respect. Until next time, we're keeping the tradition alive right here on Trapping Time. Remember to set your DVRs every Tuesday at 8:30 on Dish Network channel 266. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at Trapping Time. I personally am going to list every week the conventions, the events we're going to be at. Also, we're going to be posting videos, anything trapping related that's going to make you a better trapper and help fuel your trapping addiction. You know, I cannot believe I just did a muskrat show. You know, but I give the people what they want. You know, I keep my big butt out of the water so the women and children will have something to trap, because that's the kind of person that I am.